Hello my fellow riders, today we're going to be doing a test ride on the Keeway Superlight 2022 edition. Hello my fellow riders and welcome back to Riding Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a test ride on the Keeway Superlight Euro 5 version. Now this is a 2022 bike and the one that we're riding is matte black. They do come in matte grey and also matte red. The engine on this is a single cylinder 4-stroke 2-valve air-cooled overhead valve engine. Now this is slightly different to some of the newer bikes. Most of the newer ones have an overhead cam engine. This one has an overhead valve and it is a pushrod engine. They produce 7.8 kilowatts of power, which is somewhere in the region of 10 to 11 horsepower. Now the main difference between a pushrod engine and an overhead cam engine is the compression ratio. So this one comes in at 9.1, whereas a overhead cam would come in slightly higher at say 11.1. There's nothing wrong with an overhead valve engine or a pushrod engine. What you do tend to find is as they get slightly older, they do make a little bit more of a rattly noise. You can adjust it, but it will always come back. They do this slightly more than an overhead cam engine, but they are very reliable engines and they will go on forever as long as you do service them as specified. So it does have a 15-inch rear wheel and a 16-inch front. It does have hydraulic disc front and back, and they are combined. This means that when you put your foot on the back brake, 25% of that pressure goes to the front to keep your braking experience even. You've got telescopic forks on the front and telescopic coil-sprung oil dampeners on the back. Now when it comes to this bike, most people want to know the seat height. So it is 730mm and this is quite low for a 125 of nowadays. So you will be able to ride this if you're shorter, and this bike does like you to only be putting one foot on the ground when you're stopping anyway, just so you can hover over that back brake. It does have a 15-litre tank and this should get you somewhere in the region of 300 miles to the tank. This bike is very efficient and it will do over 100 miles to the gallon. It's not the fastest one out of there. You're looking at maybe 55 to 60 miles an hour tops. I would say more than 55. But then again, you're not buying this bike really for the speed, you're buying it for the looks. So it does look a lot like a Harley Davidson of old. It comes with those Harley Davidson switch gear and it is push to cancel on the indicators. It doesn't have any LED bulbs in this one. All of them are bulbed bulbs, so old style bulbs. This bike hasn't really changed in the last 14 years and it has been consistently one of the best selling bikes since it was brought out. So this bike has been around for approximately 14 years and the only thing that they've really done to it to change it since it was first brought out is the Euro 5 upgrade. So ECU, fuel injection system, combined braking and the catalytic converter. So if you get a bike from 14 years ago and this one, they're going to look exactly the same. Me personally, I'm not keen on this style of bike. I've got sort of a back injury, and what you find with this style of bike is you are putting a lot of pressure on your lower back whilst riding it. If you haven't got back issues, then it's not a problem, but if you have, maybe you should look at something a little bit more upright, because you are putting a lot of pressure on your lower back and you are stretching your arms out quite a lot. So it's not exactly the most comfortable ride out there. Another thing to consider as well is your feet are always going to be forward of your seating position, where most bikes nowadays your feet are under your torso. But you are going for that sort of look. There is accessories for this bike. It does have you can get panniers, you can get screens, and there's a lot of spares out there. As I say, it's been around for a long time. So we're going to go on to the section of me shutting up and mumbling on. So hopefully you've enjoyed my information that I've given you, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of the video.
So thank you for watching my video. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Please hit that subscribe button to stay updated to all my latest content. Give it a thumbs up if you like this video. Comment below if you didn't, and tell me how I can make my videos better in the future. But as always, ride safe.